The following portion of Ozarks Fox AM is sponsored by Dexcom. A staggering 1/3 of the U.S. population have diabetes or prediabetes. Alarmingly, more than 20% of those with type 2 diabetes are not using insulin, and 80% with prediabetes are unaware of their condition. Here to help is Dr. Thomas Grace, a family physician, medical director of the Blanchard Valley Diabetes Center, and the head of clinical advocacy and outcome at Dexcom, who's here to discuss the first ever National Glucose Awareness Week established by Dexcom in partnership with actress Retta, who we love, and nonprofit Beyond Type 2. Welcome, Dr. Thomas Grace. Great to see you.
Hi, Jeremy and Maddie. Thanks for having me this morning. Yeah, and as you alluded to, we're excited to kick off the first ever National Glucose Awareness Week because we know that there's a large knowledge gap. 136 million people with either prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. And of the people with prediabetes, 80% of them don't know that they have it. And of the people with type 2 diabetes, 20% of them don't know that they have this disease. So there's a large gap in knowledge, and we're excited to help.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And so why would you say National Glucose Awareness Week is so important?
Yeah, it's important because there are so many people that aren't aware that they're living with a glucose-derived illness, right? There are things that we can do at home, healthy lifestyle habits that we can encourage people to really help them own their glucose control and to live healthier. Small things like getting more physical activity, or even as simple as getting more steps throughout the day. Things like making better dietary choices are ultimately important to overall glycemic health.
See, I wouldn't even know where to begin, doctor. How do people get, better information about glucose?
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about a website. It's called getglucoseaware.com. There is a wealth of information there delivered in a really fun, exciting way. Retta, who you'd mentioned, she has a few videos on this website that are fun and interactive. And it's a way for people to really start looking at why glucose is important and what they can do at home to help improve their overall glucose health.
And what about tools to help monitor your glucose levels?
Yeah, when we think of glucose, we think of the old traditional scary finger poke machine. But just recently, there's a product called Stello that was launched by Dexcom. And this is the first over-the-counter glucose biosensor here in the United States that lets people on their own, without a prescription, get glucose healthy by seeing what happens when they eat certain foods, or helps them see what happens to their glucose readings when they get more physical activity. It's really an exciting time in the world of glucose health.
That is fascinating, this technology has come so far. I actually have two friends, one in their 50s, one in their 20s, who have this and have been using the technology to monitor their glucose because they're diabetic. So it's amazing to see how far we've come technology-wise. And do you have any other suggestions, by the way, with this?
Yeah, the big takeaway here is to get more information to really help empower you to help yourself with your overall glucose health is to go to getglucoseaware.com. Excuse me. Again, that's getglucoseaware.com. The majority of our overall glucose health starts with things that we can do at home, and we want to help empower patients to make the right decisions to help their glucose health.
Awesome. Well, doctor, thank you so much for your time today. And yeah, start at home with the extra steps and eating healthy.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Great to see you.
The preceding portion of Ozarks Fox AM was sponsored by Dexcom.